So recently I've decided to document my game collection, which isn't the most impressive in the world, but I'm looking to grow it and I think it's an interesting video concept. I like watching these, so figured I'd do my own. And today we are doing my handheld console collection, which, let's be real, is mostly Nintendo. There's one that isn't. This isn't going to be going through all the games because I feel like at least most of those could be their own standalone video. I'm gonna have to combine the Game Boy games and whatnot for sure, but I've already done a video on my Switch stuff and that took me like an hour to record, so I figure I should split things up a little. But yeah, I think we will go in order of release, at least for the most part. We'll save the non-Nintendo one for last because it's technically not even mine, it's writers and I've never played on it, but it's pretty. So I want to show you guys. And it's also a nice conversation starter because perhaps you're really into it and can recommend me things to play and stuff like that, you know? Get me a little more into it. But without any further ado, we are, of course, starting with the OG Game Boy. Now, I actually don't quite remember why we have this. This was definitely a little before my time. I am 28 years old, so, you know. I think my sister's friend just gave this to her, and it has never really worked right, and that makes me so sad. Like, it'll turn on, but the screen's kind of messed up, and I think the audio was having issues too. I can't quite remember. I need to boot it up and figure out what's wrong with it exactly. I know the batteries in it had corroded, but I think I mostly cleaned that out. This Game Boy has certainly, seen better days, and it wasn't even my doing. It's so sad. So I've always kind of considered maybe getting a backlit screen for this one since it's not working right anyway, because I'd love to get into console restoration and, customization. I don't think I'd customize this one, but at least, you know, give it a better screen and speakers if it needs those. But yeah, it makes me sad that I've never really gotten to play on this, but it's neat to have. Definitely a staple of a Nintendo handheld collection. Then next up we have my Game Boy Color, which is the Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. This one I actually bought as an adult a few years ago. I never had a Game Boy Color. The Game Boy Advance was my first handheld console. But this is my favorite. I've seen this Game Boy around in particular and it's always been my favorite. I love the Atomic Purple. It's so ghastly, which is my favorite Pokemon. I just think it's a wonderful color. This one works great. I got it at an antique shop, insultingly enough, along with this little Pokemon gold and silver bag, and I was very excited. I just kind of use that bag casually now sometimes. And I need to get more specific Game Boy Color games to play on this. You'll see whenever I do my Game Boy games video, I don't really have many games. So I'd love to collect more for it. So if you have any recommendations, both for, really for anything, but especially these two, let me know. I'd love to get that Pokemon Game Boy Color someday too. That's high up on the list. We shall see. Then next, as I had mentioned, I was a Game Boy Advance kid. This was my first ever handheld console. And really my first console that was ever fully mine. I didn't have to share. This thing got a lot of use, especially with Pokemon Sapphire. Pokemon Sapphire and Hamtaro Ham Heartbreak, let me tell you. So many hours put into this thing on those. It's definitely scratched up. It had stickers all over it for a while. I finally cleaned it up 5 or 6 years ago. I still play on it every now and then. It works fine. Still has its back piece and everything. Ooh, Kirby's Nightmare and Dreamland 2. That's another one. That's what I was replaying on this and brought back some good memories. I used to bring this thing with me everywhere. I remember family gatherings, my memories of those. I had my Game Boy in hand. So I was always the hide in the corner on my Game Boy or DS type. So yeah, this console is very, very special to me. As is the next one, I do have 2 Game Boy Advances, and this one was actually my sister's. And I'm holding it hostage because she had one of those phases where it's no, I don't want Nintendo stuff. You can have all of it. It's fine. And I was and now I'm no, it's a museum piece. I keep it safe. But yes, this one has also been in my life for quite a while. I love the red. It is the special edition Target red one, which is really cool. It's nice too because I remember going to Target with my parents anytime we had any money at all and being what game am I gonna pick out? It was so exciting. This one is unfortunately missing the back piece. I may have it somewhere, but I think it's busted. I think it might be in my my little Game Boy bag. I'll have to double check, but would love to fix that. Just a really pretty console. Then, speaking of holding things hostage from my sister, we have the black DS Lite, which I actually still have the boxes and the contents for. I'm sliding it around. And you'll notice I have 2 of those boxes. It is because I did have my own DS Lite. It is just my greatest failing in life that it got stolen from me with my copy of Pokemon Sapphire in it when I was a child. And that still haunts me to this day, and I wish all the worst on whoever did that, even though you were probably also a dumb kid. I don't care. Perish. But I still have my sister's. Sorry. Mine was the same one. We had matching ones. I always, like, I was one of those, like, unfortunately, I was one of those girls that was like, I'm not like the other girls, I don't like pink. But I always secretly really wanted the pink DS and liked pink. I just wouldn't let myself, and neither would some of the people I was around, so that was cool. Anyway, I am more so healed now and would still love to get the pink DS someday, but we do actually have the white DS Lite. This one is actually my husband's childhood DS, and the stylus does not stay in it. Something is messed up with it. In fact, a lot is messed up with it. This one does not work anymore, and it makes me really sad. I don't remember what he said was wrong with it. It's definitely grubby. Like, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but like, it's got some grubby places. It's definitely scratched up. So if you have any advice on how to clean the white up on this, let me know. And maybe someday I'll try to restore it to where it works again, because that'd be really cool. This is a really like nice looking console. And there goes the stylus again. But yeah, unfortunately that one doesn't work. And then we actually have the Pokewalker as well, which was also my husband's, and I'm glad he has this. We also have Heart Gold and Soul Silver, thanks to him. Unfortunately, Soul Silver doesn't have its case, and we don't have the big box or anything, but glad him and his brother got those, because... But luckily, we still have our Pokewalker. I figured that at least was close enough to counting. Now we are on to a very... I mean, I said this about the Game Boy Advance, and honestly the DS was very dear to me, but this one is also especially very dear and near to my heart. We're on to the 3DS. This was the first console I ever bought with my own money. You can tell it was really well loved. The little joystick on it's a little... It works, but it's falling apart. I think the speakers were kind of having issues with this too last time I checked it. I don't know what's up with that, but the amount of hours I put into New Leaf on this thing, like, it deserves to rest in peace. But I'm glad I got the purple one. I always really liked this color. I just think it's a cute little console. Lots of fond memories with this, which I will certainly be getting more into whenever I do my 3DS games collection video. My mom still, like, gives me crap because I sold a drawing to get this, which is like kind of cute because it was my first ever like art thing that I sold, and now that's what I do for my income. But my mom really wished I hadn't sold that drawing, but I'm glad I did because I got one of my favorite little consoles. Like, this was my like high school experience right here, was the 3DS. I carried it with me to do Street Pass like every single day. Every day when I got home, I'd hop on New Leaf. Well, first I'd hop on like the little Me Plaza thing and whatnot, check that, and then I'd hop on New Leaf. It was a whole routine. Also, I still have the box for it, which I didn't know that I had still. I didn't know where it went, but it was in my parents' garage. We were cleaning it out and found it on the ground, a little beat up, but for the most part in good shape. So, happy about that. My husband also, of course, had a 3DS in high school. He had the red one, his favorite color. This one is still in good condition, which is nice. I'm going to once again count it as part of our collection, part of our museum. I'm not sure if he carried this one around. I think he did. I feel like I remember street passing him. I remember he brought the 3DS Smash Bros to school once with this. I had a New Leaf in mine like eternally, but thought that was cool at the time because I never, like, I didn't have Smash Bros on 3DS. I don't know why. Because like I have all the others, but yeah, just good memories, you know? Then to go along with those, I actually did get the NFC reader for like the Animal Crossing amiibo cards. We know how it is. But I didn't end up needing this for very long because I did buy a new 3DS XL, and let me tell you, what I'm about to show you is the prettiest console in the world. It's my most favorite, like maybe not my most favorite like games-wise, which it's still like top-notch. This is not to downplay it. I just love the Nintendo Switch and GameCube, but this console. You guys aren't even ready? It's the Galaxy one. But it has a Pikachu, like a golden, it's not showing up the best on camera, I'll have to get extra little footage of it, but it has the Pikachu case on it, and let me tell you, when this came out, this 3DS, like, I am the biggest fan of Galaxy print. I don't care if we should have left it back in 2014, I disagree. My bed sheets, my shower curtain, everything is still Galaxy print in this house. I love Galaxy print, so when this came out, I had to have it, and this is a really special console to me too, because at the time I was doing a mostly like New Leaf centric YouTube channel, and my very first AdSense payout ever on YouTube, I bought this with. And I was so excited, like it felt like a big accomplishment, you know? And this also got a whole lot of love. It is in better shape. I tried my best. Because I cherish this console a whole lot, but the screen is definitely, like, I still play on this pretty regularly, and not the other ones, because obvious reasons. I do have very poor vision as well, so this was really nice, and especially at the time I was doing New Leaf content without a capture card. So you know what I was doing? Setting up my webcam to record a screen. And for a while I had stolen my sister's, like, 3DS XL to record it, and she got kind of sick of that. So this made it where I could record things a little nicer quality. It was still through a webcam, but you know, it was acceptable. It was fine. People seemed to like it. And I'm glad I did, because now I have footage of my New Leaf town. So yeah, favorite console in my collection. I have actually gotten asked where you get this, and I got this in the 3DS days. I think it's, I'll have to put the name of it here. I don't know if you can find it anymore. I saw one listing for it whenever someone asked, and it was really expensive for some stupid reason. Hopefully you can find it for cheaper if you want to do this combo, because it's so pretty. Then next we're on to my Nintendo Switches. This one is the original one, the one we got late 2017, I think. And it has a Skyrim case on it, because of course it has to. I was actually torn on if I wanted to get the colorful Joy-Cons or the gray ones, because the gray ones would look really nice with the Skyrim case. And I still kind of feel like that. But I like color, quite obviously, so. It is unfortunately a little scratched up, like here, from being docked and whatnot, but it's gotten a lot of play on it. It's bound to happen. I also brought this with me to many places, but now technically this is Ryder's Switch, because I now have, and it also has cat fur and fingerprints on it. I have the Switch OLED, which I actually bought last year, and I've been loving it. It was kind of one of those situations where it just kind of like, I wasn't looking to buy one, but one popped up from someone we know, and it was needing a good home, and so I gave it one. Oh wait, I didn't show boxes! I'll show the boxes in a minute. Anyway, Switch OLED. The Switch is like my favorite console ever now. I'm very excited for the Switch too, but also a little sad. But I also just put up a whole video talking about my Switch collection, so if you'd like to see all my games and accessories for it, as well as viewing these again. I know this is probably the highlight of your day. Viewing my Nintendo Switch. Then you can watch that video. But I did forget to mention, before we're on to the last non-Nintendo console, I do actually still have the boxes for my 3DS, the Galaxy 3DS XL, and this one stayed in my bedroom, so this one stayed pretty safe. Because even the box is pretty. It does have a few scuffs, unfortunately, I think, from moving a few times, but, you know, still nice to have. And then I also have my OLEDs box, which I'm glad it came with, and my OG Switches box, which is unfortunately a little bit chewed on from Noodle, my cat, my beloved little cat, who is certainly not a booger. But now, onto the last console, which I know hardly anything about because it is my husband's, and I've never played it because it doesn't have a battery. It's this beautiful blue PS2, and PS2. I'm not that fake of a fan. Girl, PSP. Oh my god. Yeah, it doesn't have a battery, which I think is probably a good thing because I've heard they've been exploding. And I think he said that this was one of his friends and his friend like gave it to him or something. So hopefully they're not wanting that back. But yeah, I just think this color is like one of the best colors in the world. And it's really pretty. And I should probably get a battery for it and actually try out playing it because I just wasn't like a PlayStation kid growing up. I'm still like I've played our PS4 a good bit, but not as much as like Nintendo and PC and Xbox and whatnot, so I'd like to change that. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But yeah, as of March 2025, I had to think about what month it is. That is all of my handheld consoles. Like I said, it is something I would definitely like to grow more in the future. I'd love to get more fun special editions and whatnot, but we shall see. I feel like I'm trying to catch up on all the games I always wanted to play but just never had the funds for at the moment. So, you know, that is a process, an expensive one, so we'll see how that goes. Ooh, Kirby. If you have any requests, maybe just doing my not handheld consoles, or any games for any of these consoles or any of the other ones I have that you would like to see my collection of, let me know. Or just like any, like, I'm thinking about just doing videos where I just like ramble about one game. Because I could do it. There are some games that I have some opinions on. So let me know if you have any suggestions, but yeah. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!